session. Anybody, before we start looking at what's on the board, anybody got a concept or anything that we've covered so far, any questions when you're looking at that you want me to go over quickly before we start here? Anything that didn't make sense or that you want me to just revisit?
God, brilliant then. You understood everything? Yes. All right, so
Review session then, all right? What I want you to do is get into groups. So split up into maybe 4 or 5 groups so that you can work together and help each other out, okay? When you look at your textbook, at the end of each chapter are a set of questions to help you work out whether or not you read the chapter thoroughly, okay? What I have done is I've picked the questions that I think are the most pertinent to the kind of exam, to the literature that I want you to be paying attention to. Doesn't mean the other questions are not important. It just means that if you look at these ones and go, duh, you are going to have a problem next week, right? So pay attention. And then on some of the chapters, I put a little activity for you to think about. Can I remember what this means? Do I know what to fill in on the blanks? Okay? And then, in addition to the chapters, remember that especially for chapter 3, but there's articles up there to help you with the material in the chapter. I want you to look at the MSU chart because we need to make sure that you're following the MSU chart and starting to get the idea of that. Brain development kind of feeds into what we covered in chapters 4 and 5 anyway. Okay, but those 2 things are in your lab notes. Make sure that you look at those as well. And then here you've got, up on Blackboard, there's a major concepts document. So for each chapter, there's a bulleted list of the major concepts that you should be picking out of that chapter. Again, that doesn't mean don't read the whole chapter. It just means that when you look at that bulleted list, if those things aren't recognizable, if you're not going, oh yeah, I know that, right, then you need to go back and revisit the chapter a little more carefully. Check your PowerPoints, look at the articles that are loaded, and use your textbook website, all right, to help you out. So you've got loads of resources in order to be ready for Wednesday. And you've got a long weekend, right? And I know everyone's tired, and I know the long weekend means parlay, because that's what I'm going to be doing. But you have an exam on Wednesday. Do not throw the whole weekend away. Play 2 days. Work 1 day. Okay? Use the time wisely, because that means you should be super, super ready by Wednesday. You've got an additional day to help you get ready. So don't study a weekend, that is not a good plan. You need to take some time off. You need to catch up on some sleep, because I expect some of you are already going to sleep. You need to make sure that you get some leisure time and some downtime so that you can cope with the next bit of the semester. But don't play the whole weekend. That will come back and bite you in the butt on Wednesday. All right? Good? Okay, so split up into, as I said, 4 or 5 groups. You can move your tables, you can grab a bouncy ball if you like to fidget while you're reading. Work through the activities, help each other out. Just think of, can we come up with a reasonable idea to make sure that we know that concept? Sure.
Where are we going now?
So you can, so online. No, what class session?
Yeah. How are you with the board?
Yeah, can we see you?